Happy New Year, everybody. Got to run this 60G over to the subdivision. We've got a little bit, 2 little manholes we've got to deal with over there. Skid steer needs to go to P Ridge. But I figured we've got some crazy organic million view videos on this channel about shifting these big trucks. A little preface here, I got my CDL through municipality when I was 19, and then I'm 33 now. I've drove a lot of different variations of trucks, dump trucks, etc., etc. But I'm gonna show you the generalities of floating or shifting without your clutch. The gears. Floating the gears is what they call it. I was fixing to fire this old girl up. I've got a little bit of time today. Give you guys some different camera angles. I got roasted in the comments. If you guys haven't seen that video, we'll place it up here in the corner. It's just a 30-second short of how to shift a 10-speed, and it was just me, my phone, etc. So now you guys are gonna get all the behind the scenes and me talking all about driving a big truck. And it is loaded, so nobody give me any crap. We're gonna go drop this excavator off, do a little pre-trip, and go from there. I don't care if the truck is brand new, day one. If you're gonna get in a truck, check the oil. I don't care. It's not too long from an oil change. We just put fuel filters on her. I know she's gonna be perfect, but I need to know that before I get in the truck. And you need to know that, drivers. It's number one. It's been a minute since she's been ran, about 2 weeks since she's been at all even fired up or anything. So I'm gonna take a little bit extra time, go through everything, make sure there's not any freezing leaks or busts or anything crazy that I'm not noticing, but everything looks really greased. Check the oil. Now I'm gonna go around the other side. Everything over here looks Gucci. We had all this replaced not too long ago. And especially if you're getting in a truck, as you guys know, Mr. Jim drives this thing about 4 days a week. I haven't been in this truck in 6 months plus. I mean, other than a quick trip to town like I'm gonna do, I think that was probably roughly 6 months ago. Mr. Jim keeps this truck really clean. It's a little dirty right now. We've been off for 2 weeks for the break, but if you're gonna go get in a truck that you haven't drove, dang sure need to take a little bit of extra time on the pre-trip. So I guess you can tell Mr. Jim, he's a truck driver from way back. Zip tied him some cardboard up there for a breather, for a temporary breather. Got cold on us really fast a couple weeks ago, but he hadn't even told me he wants a breather or needs a breather. I do know this truck is super cold natured. But yeah, let's give her a cold start. Woo! She cold. I want to show you all the difference when you're checking tires. That one may be a little low. You see that? That ain't got no thud. That's got a thud to it. Blap, blap, blap. Good thing is, that axle's coming up. We ain't gonna fix that tire today, right now. I can raise that axle up. We're just taking the old 60G out there. My God, I gotta fix that winder too. Forgot all about that. Guys are gonna be cold. Wasn't us. Anyways, long story. But yeah, checking everything out, looking good. You guys can hear, obviously I got her running. She's popping off, air pressure, etc. Now that I know my tanks are full, it doesn't necessarily have to be full, but on a cold day like today, you can feel everything picking up, air picking up, etc. I'm letting all the air circulate into the trailer, pick up that lift axle, do all the things, get all the bags leveled and situated. Trying to get you guys a better angle over here of the gauges, because if you guys go look at the freaking comment section of the 500 comments, you're not properly showing us how to shift. You're not showing us the tachometer. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me make sure I get that. We are in old Whitey, as I call her. She is a Peterbilt 2007 Peterbilt 379, 2 drive axles and a tag axle. Obviously a steer axle or we wouldn't be going anywhere. C13 motor, and we have got the 13-speed Eaton Fuller. And look what I did for you guys. I even put the pattern up here for you guys, and I even printed off a normal 10-speed pattern. And I'm going to, got 3 angles set up for you guys today, showing the tach, your tachometer, showing kind of where I come off the motor at and off the engine. We've got you an angle back here. What's up, guys? You get the whole view, and then I'm talking to you guys. So we've got quite a bit of comments on a couple of shorts here on the channel. They've crested over 1 million views about how to shift and float gears, and that's what we're going to kind of talk about today. The basics of basics with a high and a low switch. Your yellow is your low, okay? We're going to start down here in 1. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? That's just going down the road. That was in my yellow pattern. This is called the standard H pattern. That's why they call it, okay? You'll see this predominantly through Eaton Fuller transmissions, 8, 9, 10, 13. We can go off in the Mac transmissions. That's a totally different video. But you can see, now how do I get up here to these white spaces? And I know this diagram may look different. Now how do I get it from 5th to 6th? How does that switch? Well, this switch right here is called your high-low switch, splitter. Some people call it variations. We're gonna call it a high-low switch today. And we're gonna call this red button a splitter on this side right here. And this is a 13-speed, and we'll go off into that here in just a little bit. If I was in 5th gear down over here and I wanted to come to 6th, I'm gonna bump it out to neutral, pop it up, and come back over to 6th. Now I'm in the 1 position, but now I've got my selector up in the high position. Now I'm in these white markings, okay? So now I'm running 6th, there's 7th, there's 8th, there's 9th, and there's 10th. I'm not gonna teach you guys how to double clutch today. There's plentiful videos on double clutching by itself. If you guys wanna see double clutching, how to pass your CDL, this is a bump above that. This is a little bit of comfort, the ease of the truck. Floating the gears is a lot more comfortable for the driver rather than over here having a freaking knee party with the double clutch, okay? I understand you gotta pass your CDL exam. That's clutching into a gear, you clutch out, and you clutch into the next. That's all double clutching is. I can make a whole video on just it. It's not how I drive. You're fixing to get shown how I drive. So that's a 10-speed. Obviously your reverse is up here, and there's 2 speeds to reverse, right? We talked about that. If I wanted to go on the high side of reverse, low side of reverse, my low switch is down, okay? Welcome to the 13-speed. This is the transmission that's in this truck. Yes, I'm covering up a couple gauges. This is my suspension load. We'll show them. We ain't got nothing on the deck today. We got a 60G on the deck. We're running it to town. I don't need that gauge for where I'm heading, and then that gauge doesn't work. So let's just get that clear. Past that, we've got blue instead of yellow this time. So we're gonna start out here in low. We're gonna come up to 1. We're gonna hit 2. We're gonna come up and over to 3, come down to 4. Up to neutral, flip our switch, come up to 5. Now why'd I go up to 5, Si? You see how low is only colored in blue? That means that it can only go when the high-low selector is on the downside. And now that it's on the upside, coming out of 4th, going back to 5th, that's obviously white. Here, let me show it to you guys like this. This is what you'll see standard in most of your trucks that you get in with this. It's exactly the same replica. It's just dark, low, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 5, 6, 7, 8 is up high, but we've got these H and these L's. What in the hell does that? That doesn't even make sense to me right now. I'm a brand new CDL driver. I've only been in the 8-speed or the 10-speed. Now we're talking about splitting gears. So now you've dealt with the low and the high side, the low and the high side of the entire gearbox. This H and this L means number 5 gear has a low side gearing and a high side gearing. And you can switch while staying in the 5th position from low to high. How do we do that? Remember I was just saying a minute ago, mind the tape, guys. I'm waiting on Mr. Jim to give me a shifter knob that he wants. I'm gonna dress this up for him. But I don't know if you can get this on that camera, but there's a splitter on this side. So this splitter right here, if I'm in 5th low, and you guys will see me, and I'll be talking about it as much as I can. Once we get up here to 5th, we then can split the gears. I'm gonna come into 5th low. That is, so look at my shifter real quick. That is your 5th position high. You're gonna be in the high side coming into 5th with your low position. Push your splitter forward, and as you come off your pedal, you don't have to come all the way out, but you can if you want while you're learning, and it will pick up the high side of 5th gear, okay? You're not doing anything else with your high and low, you're just operating the splitter. Now it's time to go to 6th. I'm gonna pull my splitter back, go down into 6 low, raise my RPMs, flip my splitter, 6 high, and I'm gonna call out these gears for you guys as I go too. So I wanna talk about generalities. Generally speaking, if I'm empty, I'm probably gonna take off in 2nd or 3rd. I'm not gonna start in low every time. The truck doesn't need it. You switch 5 gears before you go through the intersection. Yes, you look cool, but there's a different way of driving that truck to get where you want to go a little bit quicker, and it's easier on the truck. A lot of guys will tell you, well, the truck was designed with the gears, use them in every time. Well, that's totally up to you guys. I'm telling you what's worked for me. My preferences, and owning trucks over the last 5 to 6 years, these big trucks. I've driven a lot of them before that, but I've owned and maintained, and I've got a few results to analyze to get to where I'm speaking. Now, if I'm loaded, depending on how heavy, I may take off in 1st, but generally speaking, with any type of full load, I'm gonna start in low. This isn't a race. You're not in a low boy to win any races. You're carrying 30, 40, 50 tons on a deck behind you that needs to be controlled, maintained with a good speed. Now we've got all the way up to 8th. Now we got to start downshifting. Hey, Si, do you downshift high and low each and every single gear? Absolutely not. I will if we have enough weight and the truck is telling me to do that, but by the time I come out of 8th doing 70, 75 miles an hour coming down an on-ramp, I'm probably going to be in the high side of 6th before. I'm not a big, quick shifter. I let the truck really slow itself down. I let the truck tell me what it wants to do. And I know that sounds completely crazy, but every truck you get in is going to be a little bit different. The clutch pedal is going to feel a little bit different. The gearing might be a little bit different placed. It's all the same at the end of the day, but every truck's going to have a little bit of quirk about it. Downshifting, I'm going to use 2 types of braking. I've got my Jake brake, which is going to use the engine or the motor to slow down, like gaining any speed. And then you've got, your traditional pedal. I am going to mitigate touching that brake pedal as much as I can. I want to save my brakes. They're expensive, number 1. Number 2, the Jake brake does a lot of what I wanted. What any type of local hauling that I'm doing around here, that Jake brake covers everything. Other than people cutting you off, stop cutting semis off, or coming up to a stoplight for a full complete stop, I'll hit my clutch all the way in to the floor, let my clutch brake activate, pop out of gear. If I'm rolling empty to a stoplight, and maybe I might tap my gears if I'm in a very high density area and I can't use my Jake. But that's kind of what you'll see, guys. I just wanted to give you a full rundown before we jumped into it. So let's go take a ride. Rolling through the stoplight ever so slowly. We're in the 5L is where we're at right now. You can tell we've got some pretty tight little traffic to deal with. I'm gonna hit my splitter, go to 5 high, let off my pedal just a little bit. Click my splitter over, I'm in 6 low. Got a stoplight coming up, I'm in 6 low, I'm gonna hit 5 low. hit my high-low down. We're still rolling, probably gonna slide into third, which we did. Didn't have to hit my clutch, just used my RPMs. You guys can see now we're on the high side, 5 low. Switch, off the pedal. Coming up to 5 high, off the RPM, 6 low. Gonna hit my splitter, 6 high. I'm gonna hit my splitter and go on up to 7. I'm gonna bring my splitter back. You guys just saw from above, I was trying to get it down into 6th as I was rolling. She didn't want to go there. So I went up to 5th and she fell right in and slowed me the rest of the way down. I could just tap on my brakes as it came up to the stoplight. That's kind of what I was talking about in the reference of letting the truck tell you what it needs to do. Don't jam it in 6th because you think it needs to go in 6th. If you've slowed down already past the RPM spike of getting it into 6, you're never going to get it in there. So you can save yourself a lot of clutch this way, and you can save yourself a lot of brakes this way. And that way, when you need to stomp on them, you can stomp on them, and you know that they're there. But if you're just jamming on them every single time, hate to be your mechanic. Come on. So I'm going to go off in 1 this time right up here. We're going to take off in 1. You guys watch my RPMs there. I'm gonna let it 1900, about 2000. She may crest over 2000. Here's 4th. I've hit my high-low switch, going up to 5th here. Calm down. Now, I'm gonna hit my splitter, let her come down into 5 high. Here's 6 low. Let my splitter go, used my pedal to finesse the gear where she needs to be. I'm gonna hit my splitter, let her sit there until I'm ready to take my foot off the pedal. And now I'll let her go. And she'll just pick up that next gear. As long as I've pre-selected to the next from 6 low, hit my splitter, 6 high. Now I'm sitting in the 6 high position, running about 1700 RPMs. That's enough RPM for me to be able to get away from somebody, whatever's going on in this traffic, etc. Like this guy, we don't know what this guy's doing. So let's box him in. I don't know what, okay, he's shagging a right. Well, that's acceptable. Coming up into high gear, hit my high-low switch. I'm gonna hit my splitter, go to 5 high, come off my pedal. Come down to 6 low, hit my splitter at the same time. And you guys can see with my RPMs, I'm not necessarily letting my RPMs fall. I'm letting them fall to where I think they're gonna be a roundabout. Sometimes you gotta give finesse, just finesse that pedal just a little bit to get it into that gear. Pull my splitter back, little blip of the throttle, and she'll fall right in. Now, usually, that's where she likes to cruise around town, 7 low, 6 high, depending on the situation. Like I was just back there, I wanted a little bit more RPM if I need to step on it to get away from somebody. It's all defensive thinking up here. In the middle of the road, you guys will get a quick little time lapse of me unloading and dumping this Mini X off, and we'll get back to what we were doing. A little part of the job here. Just a little downshifting coming off. I'm in 8 high right now. I'm probably going to come out, go into 8L, 8 low, let my Jake. You'll see I've got my right foot on my gas pedal. And I'll use my brake just to slow down if I'm not at the right speed. And I went to 7 low, now I'm coming down to 6 low. She didn't like 5 low. Coming all the way down, you just saw me hit my high-low switch, coming down to 4 to grab the low gears. Oh, I'm in the wrong lane, boys and girls. Maybe you saw me just brake right there and then use the accelerator to move my gear real quick. So I jumped into third. Coming off the bypass. Went up to 4th. Went up to 5th low. 5 high. Came down and I'm in 6 low right now. Guys, I know I haven't covered everything on shifting a truck, but I gave you some really general basics. That's what I started this video saying, the generalities of floating and shifting gears, showing you kind of how I do it. If there's something I missed, and I know you guys will be super obliged, you super truckers, you're gonna put it down in the comments below about how dumb I am, and please, it will spawn a new video topic, so drop that down in the comments below. Let me know what I haven't done, what you like, what I did right, and you found some value out of. Let me know down below. It would greatly helps us, and I read every single comment on this channel. You would be surprised. Oh, come on, sweet girl. There you are. I didn't freak out. Just use my pedal just a little bit to finesse. I think that about wraps it up. Well, let us know. Anything else down below that you want to see, big truck related, I'll try and help cover. And if I don't know what we're talking about, I'll find somebody that does. And we'll go from there. Guys, I really appreciate you. Happy freaking New Year. It's 2025 and I am jacked up to start next week and get a whole week of work. Feels like since before Thanksgiving we haven't had that. Not quite fully staffed. We will be here by the end of January. We'll be rocking and freaking rolling. Come on back.